Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. Trying to do these a bit more frequently, as I said in the last episode, which was also my first of 2020, and in my second episode of 2020 we have another 5 albums to go through. This is not going to take long. Before I start the video though, thank you to everyone who watched the most recent PBW vs AVW stream this past Tuesday night. It was kind of banging. All the tag matches were great. I have like one of the best tag divisions in EFEDs. I'm happy with that, but let's focus on this for now. 5 albums, let's try and get through them proper quick like. We start off with an artist I wasn't familiar with until this year, I guess you could say. Chastity with Suffer Summer. Now, Chastity is a one-man sort of show, I guess you could say. He's a independent artist who plays the sort of pop-punk post-hardcore genre. He's from Whitby, Ontario. And this is his 3rd album, and I hadn't heard about him before, but I'm a big sucker for like a small-time auteur like this, especially if they're from, like, well, not my country, but even if they are from a country, I still like them. However, really enjoyed this album. Giving it a B+. Really solid pop-punk sonics throughout the entire thing. Really loved a lot of the presentation on it. Just very fun, very dark subject matter as well. Like, it comes across in a whole, you know, I'm really fucking tired of the pandemic sort of way. And I'm like, yeah, I think we all are, mate. But yeah, having said that, I would definitely recommend this one. Really like the lyrics. The production is really good. I can only assume he does it all on his own. I forget the label he's signed to, but I think they're a label I know, so I'm going to look that up real quick. So having just looked it up, it was on Death Wish Inc., which is the label that Converge owns, which I find kind of interesting. But still, having said that, yes, you should absolutely seek this album out for yourself, especially if you're like into the smaller like auteur sort of stuff. And this album has that in spades. It's really well presented, really charming. And really well handled in tone too, so give it a go. Next we go to Jersey City, New Jersey for Fit for an Autopsy and their 6th album, Oh What the Future Holds. Apparently this one was very highly anticipated, and I won't say my opinions on deathcore because I think a lot of people know what my opinion on deathcore is, unless it's really good deathcore, and this album is really good deathcore. I'm giving it an A. No joke, this is an early favourite of 2022 for me. I mean, just gorgeous in a lot of its areas. Love the melody that was added in as well, and it's not one of those other, like, deathcore albums that tries to add in the melody and it feels forced. Like, it feels so natural. A lot of this album just feels really organic in that way. Love the production. I mean, the production has to be given a lot of praise for making it all work, and its pacing is amazing. The instrumentation is great too. Everyone is fantastic on fine form, and Will Putney, you know, it's a 3-guitar band as well, much like Whitechapel, and now we're like Whitechapel, you know, I can appreciate that style in deathcore, and all of them bounce off each other really well. The lead vocalist, let me bring up the old Wikipedia, Joe Badalato. I know he's not like the longest tenure vocalist they've had. Well, he might be in terms of studio albums, but yeah, he absolutely kills it. Everyone kills it. Love the lyrical topics as well. Very like political things, very personal ones as well. Really good balance of a lot of areas. So yeah, basically this is my most recommended one in this episode. So go and listen to it. It's kind of great. Again, it is deathcore, so it's on the heavy side, but still, give it a listen. You won't regret it. Next we go to Memphis, Tennessee for Skillet with their 11th album, Dominion. And if you've listened to any Skillet album in the past, since 2009, you would know that it sounds the exact fucking same as all their, well, not all their other albums. There were some highlights in some of their early to mid work, but yeah, I can't really think of much else to say about this album that I haven't said about Skillet before, so this part of the video is probably going to be short. I'm just going to give this album a C. Nothing's new, honestly. Same lyrics, same instrumentation work. The title track is really good, but that's about it. There's just like, yeah, it's just middling rock, it's fine. You know, themes work, I guess. Performances are not, yeah. I'm just going to move on. I can't talk about Skillet anymore without repeating myself, so I'm just going to move on to the next album. Next we move on with something with a bit more to talk about. Tampa, Florida, and they're a band from there, Under Oath, with their 9th album, Voirist, their 2nd album since they reformed. So I've only listened to Under Oath since their reformation, so the only album I heard before this was Erase Me, which was their 1st album since they came back a few years ago, and I didn't really listen to enough, or hardly any of their earlier stuff, to be honest, to really get a good gauge. But I could, from what I understand, people are not really fully liking this, and I don't get it. I'm giving it a B+. I really like, was it a B+ I gave, or a B? It was a B+, okay, I was making sure. But yeah, I like a lot of the sonics that go with it. Really like how they go against more of the sort of like Christian labeling, as they've always done from what I know. But yeah, really fun album by the band, really versatile in a lot of ways too, and I think that's sort of the problem a lot of people might have had. And a lot of people are calling the album complacent, and I don't know, I think a lot of the songs sound different enough, you know? I like there's got a more melodic feel to it, and it is a really good case of some solid metalcore, post-hardcore stuff. Spencer Chamberlain is still a really good vocalist, Aaron Gillespie, still a really good vocalist as well as a great drummer. Love a lot of the work from the band, you know, considering that there's 6 members in this one as well. Solid work from everybody. This is just a really good album, you know, and I guess I could say a couple of the issues with it, but I guess I glossed over those. And again, you know, not perfect, but still really enjoyable. You know, I think it's a really good album, and the production is so good. Even though it's got like a lot of people working on it, they still managed to work together well enough to make the album very cohesive, which is what works for me at the end of the day. You know, yeah, it can feel like a bit of a blur at times, but it's not that bad. And again, really enjoyed it, so I would recommend giving it a spin for yourselves. And finally, we go to Liverpool for the Wombats with their 5th album, Fix Yourself, Not the World. So, the Wombats are a name, much like Twin Atlantic in the last episode I covered. They're a name I've known about for a while, I just never listened to them. But thought, you know what, January is a slow month for music, I'll add them. And unlike Twin Atlantic, who came off as the Chad at the party who brags about how many girls they've shagged, the Wombats do not do that, and if they did, they would do it a bit more nervously and honestly. I'm giving this album a B-. I like this a lot more than I thought it would. Really solid indie pop rock sonics going on. I've said sonics a few times in this episode, but who cares? It's a good word. And really enjoyed a lot of the just a lot of the band members' work. You know, it's basically like if I could compare this to the new Twin Atlantic album, Transparency. Transparency is the moron who gets absolutely sloshed at the bar and brags about the girls he's going to shag. And the Wombat is like the responsible designated driver that has to, you know, try and keep Twin Atlantic in line. You see, this is how you do the charming indie rock style, but actually, you know, with a good smile on your face, you know, and with the tongue-in-cheek, but, you know, not really fucking annoying like how Twin... Why am I so upset about the Twin Atlantic album? Why is it so shit? It's not the worst album I've ever heard, but goddamn, so far it's 2022, it's horrible. It's probably the worst of the year if I did anything like that. But I'm rambling, as I often do. Really fun album is Fix Yourself, Not the World. I finally got to it. The structuring is a bit wishy-washy at times. It's not completely perfect. It can take a while to find its footing, but it's got solid production. I like the performances as well. They come across as really likeable. And, you know, pretty decent lyrical themes. Again, sort of fits the new Chastity album vibe of, like, just being sick of all the stuff that's going on and just wanting to try and move on and enjoy what you can of it. So, and I can appreciate that because I feel that same sentiment. And I would recommend maybe giving this one a spin. It does have some stumbling blocks, but it does recover nicely by the end. So yeah, give it a go. Now I better do it. Another 5 albums. That's 10 in total for 2022. Of all the albums I would recommend from this list, not Skillet's. Basically anything that wasn't Skillet's new album, but the one I would recommend the most is Oh What the Future Holds by Fit for an Autopsy. Incredible slice of deathcore. And yeah, just an early favourite of 2022 for me. I don't know, maybe a top 10 of this soon. We'll find out. We'll see what the year holds. And, you know, tomorrow, new Billy Talent Comeback Kid albums drop. So I have a lot of high hopes of the next episode of Music of the Week. But that'll be for then. As for what's in the more nearer future, tomorrow night, more Resident Evil 7 Let's Play streaming. And then after that, possibly another Fight of the Night review. And then after that, going to get to work on the next backtracking episode, which is War the Runner. And then PVW vs AVW Go Home Show for Heat at the moment on Tuesday. And then next Friday, the pay-per-view, Heat at the moment. It's going to be pretty fucking insane. So, yeah, a lot of big plans for the future, and I'll see you... This is what the future holds. Thank you for an autopsy. And goofy way to end the video, I don't care. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.